I'm Jim Csek. You're watching Kelowna Now. I love that upbeat music, kind of like how the real estate's going. I'm here with Jerry Redman on a Remax Report.
Hey, Jim, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. The real estate market seems to be doing a little better too, right? Starting to see some rays of sunshine.
We are definitely. It's the chatter amongst the agents, the phone calls and stuff are definitely showing signs that we are showing some signs of life in the real estate market.
Waking up, right?
Yeah, we're seeing the statistics start to show it as well. Lots of things could change over the next little bit, but it's a nice direction we're heading right now compared to where we've been over the last.
Those rate cuts have really helped, and it sounds like the next meeting in January, here at the end of January, we're going to get another one. What I've been hearing anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were really expecting it with the job numbers and things like that. They're not quite sure. There's a few people saying, "Well, we're not seeing it now," but I'm suspecting we're still going to see that quarter point for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think we'll see that quarter point in January. Again, the big question mark obviously is the tariffs. We don't get all in the politics of it, but the tariffs and the Trump administration and the the not a clear mandate in our government. Obviously, we're lowering our rates. The Americans don't lower our rates could put our dollar at more risk too.
Definitely, and it's been pretty hard lately. So
doesn't look that good, right?
There's a lot of, let's just say the crystal ball is probably not as clear as it usually is right now with what's going on.
I guess good for the Americans. Everything's like half off sale.
It is. Yeah, we're starting to definitely hear a few more Americans coming up for the ski resorts and things like that.
50% off sale happening in Canada right now.
Exactly.
So we're going to do the real estate report. We're going to go through some of the numbers here. The average single family home.
Yes.
You could throw that one up there. Yeah. So there you go.
Interesting. December was again stronger than last December. So we started this uptick in October. October took quite a bump up over the previous year and even over September. And we've continued that now throughout, which is arguably usually the slowest month of the year, December. We had an uptick over last year. So prices are up a little bit, 7.12% versus last December. Days on market up a little bit too at 24%, 77 days. And we had sales up. The amount of sales in December, up 41%.
41%.
Big jump over last December. Yeah. And current inventory is down a little bit. So we are starting to see first couple of weeks of January, we are seeing some more inventory come out there. But it's, current inventory to 2019, it sounds like a lot of homes to choose from. But when you start to narrow it down,
there's different segments and stuff like that in here.
Definitely. It tightens up pretty quick. So, I think what we've been seeing over the last 3 months definitely bodes well for the shift in the market. We're still technically in a buyer's market, but we are seeing a lot more activity. There's a lot more phone calls coming into the office, and agents are dealing with a lot more clients right now than they have been.
I think the advice we've been given for the last little while is be prepared, like have your homework done, because we're in a place where you can actually take some time and look at different homes and make some choices. So getting your getting, knowing what your range is, and then get some homes and stuff, working with a realtor, right? So that you have some choices instead of like what we had prior to this. The market was red hot, 20 people bidding on a home, right?
Yeah, it's a great market to be in, especially as a buyer. You're in the driver's seat still, not, maybe not as much as you would have been maybe 4 or 5, 6 months ago. Okay. But you still have that time to get to go home and have a conversation usually about the house.
Get it inspected,
have the proper time to really think about it and talk about it and stuff like that.
Which negotiate a little bit.
Yeah, but that's even, the people that are bringing homes on today priced at today's market, they're getting a lot of activity on those homes and stuff like that.
So we're seeing some multiple there should sell kind of thing.
Exactly. People are, becoming accustomed to what the prices are now. The peak in 2021 and 2022 has become a bit more of a distant memory, and sellers are a little bit more realistic. So good product coming on the market is getting that activity. So if you see something that you're shopping for a while and it looks really good, chances are there could be another buyer looking at it as well. So you don't want to take a whole lot of time. But
so townhomes it's kind of like where lots of people start in their home markets, right?
Yeah, condos and townhomes, definitely. It's usually your first time buyer market for sure. And the average townhome in Kelowna in December.
You put that chart up, Roll.
We have, average sale price is down marginally at 1.29%. Days on market are up 71 days versus at 38%. But your sales were up again 37%. over last December. So with a current inventory of 321 listings available, which is up 8% as well. Right. So it's still, like I said, we're still in the townhome market. We're still in that buyer's market, but there is some strength there, especially for December when you start to look at, sales at 37% up. That's a big jump.
And then if you look at the inventory, is a lot less than single family homes, obviously.
It is, definitely.
Yeah. And then we're looking at the average condos now.
And the average condo.
Change that chart. There we go.
So again, price is down a little bit, down 5.52% from last month. But the other thing you need to kind of remember with average price fluctuations and things like this, the fewer sales that happen in this time of the year skews more, right? So it's really kind of one of those tough ones. What you're looking at again is the amount of sales were up 53% over December last year. So, and this has been a consistent pattern in the last 3 months as those sales numbers are out achieving the previous year, which to me is an indication that we are statistically now seeing that shift in the market. And now we're starting to get the chatter amongst agents in the office that they're starting to really feel it themselves.
I was talking to Marlon, who we had on the show, and he said that the activity was pretty good in November and December.
Definitely. I was listening to a mortgage broker speak this morning, and his phone, it's changed. The amount of people shopping, talking about it, and getting pre-qualified and things like that now is increasing weekly.
Yeah, one of the comments he made was he was working with somebody that had a home a while, that had been out of the market for a while, and the stress test is what you qualify for is a little bit different. So that's why it's really good to get pre-qualified so you know what you're shopping with, right?
Yeah, there's been so many changes, and it was interesting. The mortgage broker we were listening to this morning talked about it, where typically you would have 3 or 4 government changes in the mortgage world and things like that, qualifications over a 3-4 year period. We've had like a half a dozen in the last 12 months. So it's really important right now to be talking with a professional mortgage broker that can help you understand what the difference is between a variable and a fixed rate, and why you're looking at fixed rates versus that variable rate, and what you qualify for with the stress test.
They're almost the same right now too, like a variable rate and a fixed rate, like the best you can get. They're almost like equal, right?
Variables actually come lower now than fixed are. So it's which is a shift that we haven't seen for a little while with the interest rates rising like they were. So again, it's we harp on this just about every time we have this conversation. Jim, is talking to a professional agent that's going to look after you, make sure you're getting the advice you need. Your accountant, if you're looking at investments and things like that, or your mortgage broker, to make sure you're getting the right advice in that.
Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, there's lots of different programs out there too, and then there's the 30-year mortgage now, and there's a few other things that you can do. And then you and I have talked about this before too. Is if you need a mortgage helper, there's the suites and all kinds of different things, right? I think just if you let a mortgage broker and your realtor know what your budget is and what you're trying to work with, they can probably give you tons of different options, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely get your mortgage broker, your agent, talking about different things like suites and your 30-year amortizations. I mean, they're the nice thing, that with a 30-year amortization, you can lower your payment down. The nice thing with if you go that route, you can always increase your payment. Right. And shorten that amortization period up. But if you go into, let's say, that 25-year amortization, a month later, you're going, I wish I was lower. I could go to that 30-year. You don't get to change it then. So
you can always, I think most mortgages have like a 15% top up every year and stuff like that, or you can increase your payment if you want, or pay a little bit more.
Yeah, you can do monthly increases, plus you can do an annual top up on them and things like that. So if you go with that longer amortization, you find out, geez, I'm able to, bank that extra $300 a month I was planning on saving, add it once annually to your mortgage, or every month you can go in and do that. But again, that's not every mortgage is the same. If it's private money, they don't have a lot of those payback issues or ways that you can do it. So you really want to talk to a mortgage broker that's going to make sure they're putting you in the right mortgage product that you.
I was looking at some of the Canadian numbers across Canada. Like the housing starts are down though comparatively. So new home inventory is lower, but definitely in the resale market, there's some opportunity for buyers. Right?
The market, the construction starts that are up dramatically, especially in the Okanagan here, are rentals.
Yeah, all rental.
Purpose-built rental buildings. We're seeing a lot of them come on the market, which has affected our vacancy rate in Kelowna. We went from just over 1% to over 3% in a matter of 1 month.
Yes, and the big thing is deals are being offered now, right?
Yeah.
Like a month's free rent, and we haven't seen that for how long? Right?
I don't know if I've ever seen it in Kelowna. So it's
So so there's deals now being thrown out there, not really lowering rents yet. I mean, that's the first thing, is they're trying to offer incentives. Usually, probably sign a 1 year, 2 year deal or something like that. You get some free rent. But like there is likely more and more real estate rentals coming on the market, these purpose-built rentals, right?
There definitely is, which, and it's interesting. I was listening to a podcast earlier today talking about some of the market stats and the type of market we're in and things like that. And, when they started to look and talk about 20-year historic averages and about inventories and things like that, well, right now we're around our 20-year average. But the difference is we're not a 20-year, or the amount of people living in Kelowna is way above what we were 20 years ago. So
For sure.
Our inventory may seem like it's high compared to what it might have been 20 years ago, but we have a lot more people living here and purchasing home here. So it's, like I said with statistics before, you can make them look wherever you want, right? So
There is some good news out of City Council. Sounds like they want to look at the Airbnb thing again. Once they get over that 3% vacancy rate, they might, see if they can get exempted. And,
but I think we have to be here for 2 years.
yeah, something like that. At least they're looking at it, right? So.
Well, I think, it's if we can keep this vacancy level, or I think we might even see it go higher with the amount of purpose-built rentals that are coming on, that, why would we not? I mean, if it slowly affects our tourism industry, which is what we're known for here, why would we eliminate it if we don't need to?
Yeah, I mean, I just went to Vegas, and I had booked a hotel at the MGM through Expedia, which is usually pretty good. And then it gives you time to cancel. And then I looked on Airbnb and found this same suite in the MGM for $1,000 cheaper. Same time frame.
On
Airbnb.
Oh, wow. That's pretty wild. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah. So a lot of the suites in MGM are owned by, they're owned by individuals. Or and a lot of the hotel properties are like that, where they actually have like Trump Towers like that too. Like, you could actually own a unit, put it into the rental pool, you can put it in Airbnb or whatever you want to do.
We've got a few of those at the Grand.
Yeah.
There's some of the townhomes and stuff along the water in the Grand that are that are privately owned, but they rent.
But I mean, that's quite a savings for me. You know what I mean? $1,000 over the 7 days, same property, same suite, right?
Well, and that's, it's interesting. I've got family that comes up here every summer for a week, and they want to rent a house. They don't, there's 20 of them come up, and they don't want.
Can't get that hotel room. No, crazy, right?
Yeah,
you live in your house.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But all in all, I think what we're seeing happening in the market right now is really positive for the Kelowna real estate market. And like I said, if we see another interest rate drop in January, I think that'll be another good little prod.
Because we're getting down to the point where it's like a pretty good rate too, right? You know what I mean? Like it's not down to what that I'm just talking about Bank of Canada where it's down 0.25, right? But coming down. I mean, I think the target rate is still 2% for the Bank of Canada, which then you add a 1.5, 2 points for the bank rate, right? So
if we can, you start to get that mortgage money, fixed rates under, get 5 years under 4%, it becomes
a 3.5, 3.75 would be like,
very
sweet spot, right? Very sweet spot for a lot of people.
The problem is people are still thinking about that. I could have got that 5-year rate for how much back in 21? So
I think the son has like 1.9 or something.
I know someone had a 1.5% 5-year mortgage. So it's very, very affordable money.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense not to take it at that point, right? But
definitely not.
I mean, a lot of Canadian wealth is tied up in real estate, right? A lot of people, most of their wealth is their real estate, right? So
that's where, the richest people in the world, most of them, historically has been real estate. We're seeing a lot of high tech money now in that world, but historically it has been developed.
Yeah, but even like the individual, most of their wealth is locked in their home.
Totally. It's a forced savings plan for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so now's the time to look. Now's the time to call a realtor. Now's the time to call a mortgage broker and just be ready, right? Because that spring fever hits too, right? People start looking, and spring comes early in the Okanagan.
It does, and it's almost, other than today, it's been, the weather this winter has been unbelievably mild.
It's supposed to get nasty, I think, this weekend, and then I think after that, maybe not so bad.
Yeah,
hopefully, right?
Well, you know what? I always say the market here stays pretty active when the grass is green. And
Yeah. Well, yeah, people want to get out and about, and nobody wants to go when the snow is blowing. You can't see the property either.
No,
You know what I mean?
definitely
You
not.
can't see that there's 3 feet of snow cover.
Sure, it's landscape, trust me.
Well, maybe a big white, that's perfect, right? You can see what the ski
You get to ski in and out that way at Big Weight for sure. But no, in town, the green grass always helps our market through January, February.
You can see the property way better too, right? And see the neighborhood and stuff like that,
Yep.
right? So
Exactly.
yeah, and then in Kelowna, the neighborhoods matter a lot. So lots of different neighborhoods and stuff like that. So based on your needs.
Exactly. Again, that's where you want to sit down with somebody that knows the area, knows the market, help you figure that all out.
There you go.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Jim.
And that's been another episode of the Kelowna Remax Report. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and do some different stuff too. We're going to try and maybe do some stuff from the homes and that too.
Yeah, we're going to go on location, I think, if we can figure out how to get it done and showcase a couple of homes or some of the different condos we have in town here.
Get some technology working for us.
Exactly. Exactly. Give it a shot. Perfect.
All right. Thank you for watching Kelowna Now.
We don't just